there have been many times that I want to express myself and share my ideas, my mentality, my beliefs with, you know, my kids. But it's always because there's, I don't know, maybe that barrier or psychological blocks that we put ourselves, that even though we know the people that love us the most are our parents, and yet mostly there's usually those teen years, a little bit before, a little bit after, but there's always this big segment in our life where we tend to want to disobey and do. If our parents tell us to go to the store, our reaction is, I'm not going to the store. If they tell us not to go to the store, then our reaction is like, yeah, no, I think I will go to the store. So it's we always want to go the opposite way that our parents told us. I've been a son my entire life. Up until now, I'm still a son. And I experience and I live that son mentality and all those feelings that any son has towards the parents. They're there. However, half my life, or about half my life, I've also been a father. So there are sometimes attitudes and mentalities and situations that you look back to when you were young and your parents were trying to teach you how to behave or how to become a better version of who you are. And like you may have believed throughout your whole youth that your parents were mean, that they did not love you, that they are only in your life to make your life miserable because they keep you in a cage and they're always, telling you what to do and yelling at you and all what parents do, right? But it's like once you become a parent, like how are you to share your vision or like teach someone if they are too distracted with their phone or with the video games or with the computers? Like if there's a screen between you, their mentality, then attention, if there's a screen between them with their attention and yourself, there is no way that you can get that message across. And even going back to me growing up, mostly everybody would choose to watch a TV show or be playing with the video games with their friends or just a new game than to sit at the table and hear your dad or your grandparents tell you a story about something that happened 50 years ago. Like 50 years ago seems like it's a long time. Even story of 5 years ago seems like a long time. Why is us spending time listening to your dad or your grandparent like a burden? Because they have stories from years ago and they're irrelevant, but we can watch a cartoon or a movie that came out 10 years ago and we watch it just fine. Why? We could still watch those cartoons or that that Disney movie that you like when you were 5 years old, you could still randomly watch it, and it seems like, yeah, this is fine. I still like this movie, and you still watch it. But words or stories that our parents tell us when we were young, we were like, I don't care. That's old. Okay, it doesn't matter. There are conversations that I want to have with my kids, but because how the way we have made, the whole youth or society, it seems like we are now unable to have a conversation. Like we are not educating our kids. Whoever they're watching on YouTube, or the friends on the video games or the school, they are the ones educating and raising our kids. We are usually too busy working or doing other things. We also seem to neglect that responsibility because we don't have time. And if I don't have time, and when I come back home, then I'm tired, or there's just he's doing something else, homework. He was playing or watching TV, so now he has to do homework, and you have to make sure they do their homework, or whatever is that their responsibility is that they won't do because you're not there to supervise them. I always had the idea deep in my brain, and the mentality of the one quote that says, or goes along with, you have to live your life like you're gonna die tomorrow, but you have to dream like you can live forever. And like if you actually were to, like, if you really knew you would die, like you're gonna die tomorrow, like, would you still spend your whole day today watching videos on YouTube? Would you spend your whole day playing video games if you really knew tomorrow you're not waking up? Of the things that you did today, what would you have done different? And it might seem, and I've always been told it's a very negative way to live your life. It's a negative perspective to think that way. But I say, like, who really says you are waking up tomorrow? Like, you can't, like, I hope I wake up tomorrow. I really hope I wake up tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after. But there's no guarantees. So are you living your life to the fullest? And to the fullest doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna go and do something crazy, because you might die, so you're gonna jump off a plane and without parachute and see if you survive, because who cares? That's not what living to your fullest means. So if I knew I was gonna die tomorrow, I would probably hug and give a good night kiss to everybody in my family. I will try to tell him a bedtime story one last time. I would stare at the moon or the stars before I actually fall asleep. I don't think I would not go out and get drunk. I would not go out racing. Maybe we could be a little too selfish with the dying part, right? Because you're like, well, if I'm gonna die, I wanna, get really drunk before I die, just to see what happens. Or, I wanna shoot a gun or something crazy. If your best friend was dying tomorrow, what would you do? Would you ask him to go dancing to a party, get drunk, go back to their house, your house until 3 in the morning? Or would you have them go to, dinner or something mellow and hang out to the park, have some beers, maybe stay at their house with the family? What would you do? Okay, see, I'm not saying you have to sell everything you own, because you might die. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, are you paying attention, or are you paying enough attention to the things that go around you? Like, have you noticed? Have you actually paid attention to the people around you? Do you spend enough time with them? Have you heard the stories that your friends want to share with you?